Welcome to another episode of What Are You Reading? What Are You Writing? Thank you for being with us today. I'm so grateful. And, we're 3 years old and the audience just keeps building. And I'm just so appreciative of that. I am your host, Karen E. Osborne. Hopefully, you know me. And I have a wonderful guest today. Her name is Aleshia Jordan. Hey, Aleshia.
Hi.
I'm so glad to have you here. So, she is an entrepreneur, a teacher, a life and business coach, and of course, she's an author. And her book is Lifting the Veil, a supernatural journey through grief. Can you show us the beautiful cover?
Absolutely.
Look at that.
Lifting the veil. We're on Amazon.
Look at, isn't that great? Oh my goodness. Thank you. So tell me, I'm very excited to have this conversation with you because you have so many different initiatives going on. You're trying so many different things. So I want to hear about all of those. But let's start with why you wrote Lifting the Veil.
Oh, wow. Lifting the veil, I actually pour out my heart. I lost my husband January 26th of 2020. It was actually the day Kobe Bryant passed away. So while the world was grieving over Kobe, but before the end of the night, I was grieving and screaming out over my husband. And God took me through a journey, a spiritual journey. And I call it supernatural because my process was through visitation. It was angelic. I saw things that most people do not see. Angels of God surrounding me. I went through so much. And then even during that process, I had a pain in my back. This is really what prompted me to write the book. I had what they call a herniated disc, and I didn't know it
Mm,
was at the time, but I could not walk. Now, this
mm,
is in the midst of grief and me staying in a dark room for almost a year. And when I say in darkness, I was with God in that room, but I didn't want to come out because he passed away, and not too long after that, we had COVID. So we were all shut in anyway. Me and the kids was shut in. But this was me just in so much grief, but God was with me. And during that process, it was God working with me on the importance of living my life,
mm,
my
mm,
purpose. He would send me, people would call me and send me messages. I would see things supernaturally. And it took me to go through this herniated disc. I woke up one morning and I fell to the ground and I couldn't walk, literally could not walk. I went through that for 2.5 months. And the whole time I was in that process, I kept saying, oh God, if you could just let me get out of this pain. So kind of follow with me. Here I am in grief, all of a sudden redirected to the possibility of not being able to walk.
mm.
And living, it was constant pain. If anybody ever had back pain, they know what I mean. I had never experienced that before. And so I was just praying so hard, God, please, I would live my life. I'm going to live my purpose. Just get me out of this pain, get me through this. And miraculously, after about 2.5 months, I woke up, and I actually write about it in the book because they wanted me to go through surgery. And I did not want surgery. Through the grace of God, I was healed. I woke up one morning and the
Mm.
pain was gone.
Wow.
I realized then that what God was telling me to do, because I became very close spiritually. I mean, the things that I was going through was focus on living and sharing my story with the world. During my supernatural process, I felt the presence and the light of Jesus in front of me. And he reached out his hand and said, take my hand. I took his hand, and
Mm,
my life um, instantly started to change. I put myself into God's will, and I was started to seek his will. I went through a period of almost losing my mother to COVID. You know, she's like my best
Mhm.
friend in the whole wide world. And she was in St. Louis. I'm in Florida. And here I am dealing with that from here. It was a miracle because she was on the helmet, ventilator, and everything. That's a whole nother story I write about in the book. But then God showed me the importance of being present in the lives of the people that I loved, my children,
Yes.
my parents. They were still here. So the process and journey that I went through in grief was understanding that I had a calling upon my life to help other people understand kingdom living, living in the kingdom, believing in eternal life. He showed me that life goes on, love goes on, love never dies.
Mm. Wow.
Love continues. I continue to feel the love from my husband and all my other loved ones. I lost family members, you know, my grandmother, everybody, you know, people that I lost. So he showed me that life goes on and love goes on. He also showed me that accepting and believing that understanding that Jesus died so that we may live.
Yes. Yes.
There was so much understanding the reality of his death and Jesus, the death and resurrection of Jesus, and what it meant to be a follower of Christ. A lot of people
Mhm.
confuse Christianity with religion. It's not a religion. It's an understanding of who you are. And as a follower of Christ, you die and you resurrect as well
Yeah.
in
Wow.
paradise. And
So
so I wanted to share with the world, and I felt like God commissioned me to do so. And I know that was a long answer,
no,
but
it was a
that's why I wrote the
powerful,
book.
it was a powerful, powerful answer. So when you were going through writing the book now, right? So you had this amazing experience and this spiritual awakening, and now you're actually on the computer and you're writing this story. Did you find it cathartic? Did you how was that experience, the experience of actually writing the book?
Well, if you when you read the book, you're going to see that I was writing periodically for therapy reasons, right? For my own sanity. At the time I was writing what I was going through, I had no idea it was going to be a book. I had actually started a book years ago, which I had no idea that that book, the stuff that I had written, which I had, you know, was procrastinating like a long, like what I mean years,
Mhm.
like many, many years ago. The stuff that you know, and I had procrastinated on writing that book, you know, that I wrote many, many, many years ago. It was Naked and Unashamed. It was the name of it. And what I realized that, and then the things that I would write on blogs, the things that I would write on my Facebook status, what I realized it all came together to deliver a message. Even the book I wrote that I thought I was procrastinating on, it just wasn't meant for me to write that book. It was meant for this book. So what
Yeah.
I did is this lifting the veil is a combination, and I'll show you, I reference it. It's a combination of what I wrote on medium.com. It's a combination of what I wrote on my Facebook statuses. It's
Mm.
a combination of what I wrote in the draft of the book I wanted to write 10 years ago.
So you brought it all together
And I
into the
brought it
one
all
book.
together. And and
Wow.
and it just kind of goes to show how nothing just happens. Everything happens for a reason. And it all came
Yeah.
together for this book.
So if there was a message, a single message or a two-sentence message that you want your readers to take away. So now they're reading your book. How do you want them to leave your, what should be what you're trying to convey to us, your readers?
The hardest one of the hardest pills to swallow is we all have to die. We all have
Mhm.
to die. That does not make grief easier. It does not make letting go of people that we love easy. The pain is still there. Um, Take grief as it is. We're gonna deal with it. It's a lifetime thing, and it comes and works with people, different people in different ways, and accept that. But I would say that understand that the people that have moved on in paradise, you know, are gone on to glory, are gone home, whatever you want to call it, we're going to see again because we got to go there too. So find some peace. They just made it there before us. That's how we have to look at it. And then it's so important to understand your purpose here on earth. We came into
Yes.
this world by ourselves and we leave by ourselves. So we're
Mhm.
here for a reason. Finding those purposes and operating under the principles that God is the one that's directing our daily assignments if we let him.
Mhm.
Wake up every morning and say, God, what am I supposed to do today? Purpose sometimes could be as simple as walking down the street, walking your dog, smiling at somebody, telling them, hi, how you doing? And smiling. And that may just be what they needed that day to keep
Mhm.
from doing something wild and crazy.
Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. So true. So shifting gears just a little bit, you also, besides being an author, you are a entrepreneur. You are a woman with a business. You have a coaching and life
Tons of
coaching
business.
business,
Yeah.
right? So you want to tell our audience a little bit about that?
Well, I too, I'm a master black belt in a discipline called Lean Six Sigma. So I do quality and process improvement. So I work with corporations. You actually work with the corporation, and then I've had clients all over. I mean, from you name it. I've had clients from churches to not for profit, all different not for profits to corporations, corporate to corporate. And what I do is actually I train, I certify, I do certifications for anybody that's interested in certification. I train and certify on the discipline, and it's really a quality and process improvement discipline. It's process reengineering. It's looking at processes and making sure they're aligned to customer requirements. It's looking at what we can do to increase cost. Reduce cost and increase revenue. It's really working to help individuals excel and solve everyday business problems. And I train you with the skill set to do it. Uh, I've used this in my not-for-profits. I have several for-profits that I work with. Um,
Mhm.
I do so much stuff. I'll be all day long, but I leverage a lot of the tools that I do within the discipline within the other areas of my businesses. So,
So what would I be if I took your course? What would I be certified in? What would
well,
be
we
the
have
cert?
Sure, we have several belts. So you can get we offer yellow belt, green belt, and black belt. And then once you've certified several people, you can get your master black belt. That's like the top level. I'm a master black belt. But it's really in where you want to start. You can go straight to one or the other, but definitely Google Lean Six Sigma. Corporations all over the world use this certification. It's quality process improvement. I am recommending. I've been in this world since 1999. It's been a very
Mm.
long time. More people need to understand this certification, and if you like problem solving and process engineering, you can use it in any discipline, any arena, and it makes you just so diverse. You can work with any company to help them solve a problem. It's the methodology that has already has its credibility. So I'm encouraging anyone to get in this certification, this criteria. Back when I started Lean Six Sigma back in the 90s, you didn't even have to have a degree. You could start off making $80,000, $90,000 a year in this discipline just
Mm.
because of the certification in itself. So with my certification, you learn lean tools and technologies, Six Sigma, that's the statistical side of it, as well as change management, because change is inevitable. So I kind of, combine them all and work with folks that's interested in either a problem they have that needs to be solved or those that want to be trained and certified to help
They can
others.
help other people solve
Absolutely.
their problems. Okay.
There's roles out there. You can Google the jobs on Indeed. There's tons of jobs openings for people within our world. So,
Cool. All right. So our show is called What Are You Reading? What Are You Writing? So I can't let you go without some recommendations of some books. So my first question is about books. Is there a book in your life that had a big impact on you? Can you think of a author or a book that, just had a really big impact on who you are?
Oh wow, there's so many books.
So you
I'm
have to pick
actually
one or
reading.
two.
Okay,
You can only pick
I
one or
know.
two.
I'm actually reading one right now that's like life changing, and I couldn't. It's called Mantle for Greatness by Joshua Giles
Yeah, we can't really
because
see it.
it's called Mantled for Greatness. I don't know if you can see it.
Yes, we can see
Okay.
it now. Okay.
Yeah, by Joshua Giles. It's really good because it's pretty much in alignment, and I just started reading it, but I'm fascinated already. It's really helping you find that what we're talking about, that
Mm,
greatness inside of you for purpose and understanding what your mantle is. So I like books that are deep, thought provoking, and about self development. One of my all time favorite books I read a long time ago was John Maxwell. I love his books. I don't know if you can see that. I
yes,
love
I
John
see it.
Maxwell books. The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. Amazing book about leadership. I mean, you can apply in any arena of life. So anything that's self-development is my thing,
Is your thing. Yes. I
Yeah.
was just speaking to a woman. I just interviewed a woman who trains with John Maxwell. And she was
Wow.
talking, yeah, and she was talking
Yes,
about her book. We had just a fascinating conversation about it. So that's very cool. I love it when things repeat because then it
absolutely.
tells me that I should pay attention. When you hear it, right?
That's
You
true.
hear you hear it more than once. It's like, okay, this is for
Mhm.
you to pay attention to.
And they
So
say three times the charm.
absolutely. So if people want to find out more about your business, they want to find out more about you, I can't even get to that yet. You have a book expo coming up
Yes,
locally, and then you have another one planned in St.
yes,
Louis, right?
yes, I do. I do.
Yeah. So
I'm so
just tell
excited.
us about that quickly.
Sure, it's March 9th. It's in Port St. Lucie, Florida. I'm asking anybody in the Florida area to come. It's going to be awesome. It's really a place for authors to come and host their own book signing. So I'm asking each of the authors to come in and invite all of their family and friends to come. And then we're going to sign as authors, we're going to have signed copies of our books ready for the public. We get to network with each other. We're looking for people that service authors to be there, people that do the media, people that do publishing. So we're looking for all of those to come. And I want it to be the beginning of something for all of the authors. I believe so many of us write books and they kind of we put them on the shelf after a couple of years or so. But I want to keep it going. There's somebody out there ready to read your book. I don't care how long ago you wrote it. There's somebody out there
Absolutely.
that needs
That
it.
needs it. You're exactly right. And so if we want to find out more about you, more about the expo, more about your book, how can we find you? Where can we find you?
Sure. I'm on Facebook, Aleshia Jordan. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram as Think Love. I'm on TikTok. I'm all over the social media.
How would we know it's you? Like you said, you use a different name for your Instagram. What name do you
Yeah,
use for Instagram?
yeah. It's Think Love on
Think
Instagram.
Love. Okay.
Think Love.
All right.
And Aleshia, Aleshia. So it's a little different than the regular Aleshia. Jordan, Jordan. My email is AleshiaJordan11 at gmail.com if you want to send me an email. But definitely always available for anyone. Oh, and if you're in the St. Louis area, I'm having that same book expo in St. Louis May 18th. So be sure to check us out. We're still looking for a lot of authors for May 18th. So
Excellent, excellent. Well, I hope you have enjoyed this conversation as much as I have enjoyed meeting and speaking with Alicia. And I hope that you will find her book, you'll read her book, you'll let her know that you read the book and that you met her on What Are You Reading? What Are You Writing? Until next week, and I hope I'll see you then. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.